Oh, hello. Didn't see you there. Um, Hi everybody. Welcome to Ramblefancy. Um, we are here with Lily. Welcome back, Lily.
Hello, you can't
Um,
get rid of me.
we decided. We spent all of our time and money on these outfits and didn't have enough left over for a topic. So this is what we
Mhm.
got. This is as far as we got. We
Yeah, this is where we're at.
uh,
We were just like, we get real fancy, and then we talk about, well, okay, so we're gonna dress up, and then we'll talk dressed up. We will talk dressed up,
Yep,
and
that's
that's
it.
like that's
That's the whole episode. That's the whole thing. And we
Our
decided
budget
to be
ran out.
yeah, we decided to be very loose with the definition of dress up, which means that some of us dressed up in this way and some of us dressed up costume wise.
Yes. Hello.
I'm sorry, chat losing it. Did you Lily, Olivia would like to know, does your marriage at 40 pack still stand?
Oh shit, I didn't know we had, but yeah, absolutely. I mean, you might have talked to Sarah about that, but like, yeah, sure.
Oh, thank you. Thank you,
Oh
Olivia.
man. Well, welcome everybody. There's a whole lot of all caps happening in the chat and I'm here for it.
Yeah.
My caps lock button on my keyboard is broken. So my hair, yes, I was telling everybody last night. I realized that I could bury my fingers in the sides, and it was time to make that stop. So,
Yeah.
Mhm.
it's been a minute since this happened, and you know what the thing is that concept like skewed concept of time when it comes to like pandemic times makes it really easy to sleep on your haircuts. Like
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
it's like I just did that last week and suddenly your hair's like 3 inches long and you're like, what the fuck is happening? Yeah.
Yeah, all of a sudden 2 months have gone by, and you're like, wait a
Yeah.
minute.
Yeah. Yeah. So thank you, Gemini. I appreciate that. So we're here tonight to talk about whatever whatever we fancy. I'm gonna so sorry. It was just right there.
Please.
It was just right there.
Please, get out of the stream.
Oh, that was such low hanging
It
fruit. Like, you
really
had to go
was.
for it.
It really was, and I'm not particularly tall, so I have to go for what I can reach. So
Uh,
sorry, I have to take a minute. Okay.
This is not going to be a fun episode. It's not.
It's
Or we're going to stop there.
Also, I just wanna I just
No
wanna
time.
call out Crystal, Amethyst Cat Lady. I wanna call you out for not realizing that even though this was your idea, not realizing that the title was different on the stream. I'm calling you out. So anyway, yeah, there you go. Geek Out's got there. Yeah.
My God. No, talk to me, I angry.
I was now years old. Yes, Olivia. Uh-huh. I was kind of hoping that one would slide under most people's radar. So
You're like, should we change the announcement? No, absolutely not.
no, everything else is exactly the same as it always is. So.
I was really tempted when we were putting out the announcements, like at the top of this week, to just change it to Ramble Fancy and then say nothing
And
about
see if anybody
it.
noticed. Yeah.
Yeah, just leave it there in Discord all week.
Yeah. So I perfect. Olivia, we should have had you on. That would have been next time.
Perfect addition.
Just remember the current outfit you have on for our next iteration of Ramble Fancy, and it'll be perfect. Anyway, before we get started, I don't know what that means in the context of this episode, but before we get started, I mean, this is what this episode is, but
Heck
before we
yeah.
get back, like, this will be like, before we get back to this, whatever the hell this is, we've got a few things to talk about. First of all, we announced the cast for It Came From the Loop, and I'm very excited about it. And if you haven't seen it, Sorry, I don't know what John's doing. Oh, okay, I think I got there. Um,
Baby.
um, if you haven't seen it, you should find it because I once again forgot to put it up on the actual screen, and it's too late now. So
Just follow the rule of Laura Twitter.
yeah,
Like, what are you doing?
exactly. Um, I say preaching to the choir. Of like everybody who follows us. um, yeah. So that's going to be Tales from It Came from the Loop is going to be airing on September 23rd at 6 p.m. Pacific time. And it is, yeah, I know nobody's listening to me. I understand. But I gotta do it anyway, or else we'll be here forever.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that will be happening, and it'll be very exciting. Caitlin will be GMing, and I'm so excited to see that happen.
It's gonna be amazing.
I'm so excited. Caitlin and I were talking about it today. We actually spent some time talking about some of the stuff, and some of the stuff that Caitlin has planned. It's excellent. I'm so excited. Okay. Hello. Oh my gosh. Gemini Lightning. Thank you for gifting Olivia a sub. And Nico subscribed for 13 months. That's
Wow.
more that's older than some children.
Kiki, do you have anything to say about this to the public?
That's older than my kitten.
Yeah, that's right. You got a new kitten today, right?
I did, yes.
Yeah.
It's great that there's no subject because that means I can bring him up.
Yeah.
I can't bring him in this room though because he's still in his special kitten room that you got to put them in when you bring them home
Yeah.
for the first time.
Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah.
Spigs, welcome. Hello.
Hey.
We're you caught us doing Ramblefancy. And if you're wondering what that means besides just like us being dressed up here on the channel, so are we. Anyway, we're just kind of hanging out today. I don't think I have other stuff to fully announce. We started work on the season recap for Infinite Horizon season 1, but there's not really anything to announce about that, so just know that that's coming.
Art reel?
Art, yes. Okay, important. Art reel. We are in that video in the season recap. We are going to be putting it over an art reel of fan art. So if you have fan art for season 1 of Infinite Horizon, please do send it in via the art reel that is there, that is in chat now. With that, thank you, John, Geekouts, and Nightbot. You have until tomorrow. Hold on, I'm trying to think of how to say this. Let's put it this way: tomorrow at 11:59 p.m. Pacific time to submit those. After which point we will not be accepting submissions, because we gotta get started on this. So
Yeah.
we need to give ourselves as much time as possible to get that. So I think that's everything. Right? That's all. Those are all the big. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tomorrow Astroneer. Tomorrow, right here, where
Yes.
Caitlin and I are playing Astroneer. That's it. That's the last of it.
Is that
I'll-
at
Sweet
6
space
p.m.?
chaos.
6 p.m. Pacific tomorrow.
Pacific?
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, we've already got a question. Amethyst Cat Lady's question, particularly in sci-fi and fantasy or other non-modern settings, how do clothes and formal wear impact the scene? Ooh, good question. Man.
I mean, I think it's super important, just in my professional opinion, for in D&D that there needs to be a shopping episode in like every campaign. It's one of those things. It's like a beach episode. You gotta have it. You gotta have a shopping episode or like a fancy party episode. It's just necessary.
Yeah. Well, especially that last one, the fancy party episode, because you've got to have that.
Yes.
You've got to give. I love giving players the opportunity, like in any situation, giving players the opportunity to describe something cool about themselves. But that one is particularly cool because it's like usually you're going from like these rugged, weather-worn adventurers, and suddenly you're like changing into. Yeah, you change into like serving looks all over the place, right? Like, and that's just such a fun one. So yeah, that's
Like the other cool thing about it too, and this is true of just like fiction in general, is that like parties are such good ways to like break down and like introduce like complex social elements into the story, and then like force players to confront them, or force your characters to confront them. So they they're super fun in that regard too.
Yeah. Nico correctly, I think, points out you need one beach episode per campaign, but you need at least one shopping / gear up episode per arc, in my opinion. You know what? I think
You are
that's fair.
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is law.
Absolutely.
Hey, John Numa.
John Numa, welcome. Hello.
Hey.
Feel free to lurk to your heart's content. We're just happy you're here. Yeah. So
Hey, and I see Caitlin's here too.
I know. I saw.
Hey.
Caitlin has a sword now.
Ooh.
Love it.
Nice. I
Yeah.
thought about like in real life, and I'm like, that happened a while ago.
Oh,
but no,
yeah.
you meant
Yeah, there's like it's been like a year,
the
Lucas. Where have you been?
Twitter.
Caitlin is just slowly accumulating swords in all of the places that she inhabits.
See, it's something that I meant to do a while ago because there was a period of time where only mods could use commands, and Caitlin kept trying and being unable to do it. So I was like, you know what? Here you go. Let's just do that. Besides, you're more involved here now than you were when I first gave you just like the VIP role. So you know what? Might as well. Who gave? Caitlin gave herself a sword. So that's yeah.
I seem to remember that she put it up to a Twitter poll last year at Gen Con 2019.
Yeah.
As
And
you
then-
should with all important decisions.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, correct, Caitlin. I think you honestly do need more swords. Like, there are plenty of walls in your house that do not yet have swords on them, and that's something you gotta fix.
Yeah.
I think.
Absolutely.
Honestly, there's a pretty critical lack of swords on walls in my apartment.
Yeah. So by the way, this is a thing. Since we seem to be going on this roll anyway of like just sort of hanging out and chatting, that reminded me that I did change today's like the stream category to just chatting instead of what it usually is, which is talk shows and podcasts, because this isn't organized enough for that. It's not gonna be. We're just gonna be talking about all kinds of stuff. Like right now, yeah, Caitlin needs an armory. I agree, Geekouts. That's important. Caitlin needs to be a one-woman medieval kick-ass machine. So like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Was I correct in seeing that Geekouts had posted a question
Oh.
earlier, like highlighted a message
Maybe I
Oh.
might have seen
further
that.
up in chat? Did I? Am I
Yes,
making that
you
up?
are correct.
Yeah.
Let's see. Question: do you all wear and/or have anything that you put on your person to help get into character, i.e., dressing up? Ooh, interesting. Interesting
It's
question.
It's not a piece of clothing, but anytime that I was playing Aiden, the bard that I played in our home game that Lucas ran, I would get out this notebook and set it in front of me with a pencil in it, so that I could write my incantations out. Because when I was playing that character, what I would do is Lily, this is the one that I played at Gen Con last year.
Yeah, I was really I recognize that.
Yeah, I would write out the incantations for the spells that I said as just like little bits of like almost beat poetry, and then like read those out as I cast my spells or like gave people bardic inspiration. And so like it wasn't a piece of clothing, but that was definitely something that helped me get in character, because I imagined like that almost being kind of how like Aiden worked, is that he'd just be like he'd watch the shit play out, and then like afterwards he'd be like, okay, so like next time this happens, how can I describe it so that it'll be super cool? So that was something that helped me, at least.
Yeah. I don't know that I've ever done that like with an accessory or an item of clothing, although I might start. That sounds kind of interesting.
It's cool to like watching C6 for the first time, seeing, oh no,
Oh no.
Yep, there he's
He's
back.
back.
He's
No,
back.
it's okay. False alarm.
Whew.
Hello.
C6 for
I'm
the first
back.
time.
I went to a very strange place.
Yeah.
Very strange place and time.
Sorry, John, you were saying about C6?
No, it's just cool watching C6 for the first time, and they're all dressed up in costume, at least in the first issue. So it's it's just cool to see all of them like dressed up as their characters while they're playing. It's very fun. So
Yeah, definitely. Haku, hello, welcome. And yes, we are doing a Ramblefancy tonight.
Mhm.
But yeah, Gina is never not in costume. Yes, that's very true.
I think when I played in person, I did a lot more of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Since I've been playing online,
Yeah.
like on Discord without even like video, I don't really. But I like
Mhm.
for Desiree, I did like makeup, like gold makeup, and I had like a gold ring that I wore, and I tried to sort of dress in the vibe. And then I can think of like when I would play in person, the last game, right before all of everything happened in the before times. I was playing like a tinkerer, and I have goggles that I used for a capable costume that I would like
Mhm.
wear on my head, and everyone at the game store would be like, "Why
Perfect.
are you doing this?" And I'd be like, "Shut up, it's cool. I'm in
So
character."
cool. Come on.
Shut up. This is me now.
This is exactly.
Freeman?
Although I have done things,
Oh.
I think when
I
like,
certainly. Oh,
Sorry.
I'm
Go
sorry, I
ahead.
was lagging.
No, you're good. Keep going. What were you saying?
I was saying, I think one time, when I was playing, in like a long term, when I knew it was gonna be a long term campaign, I think in the first session, even though it was just voice, I was like, my character is like really suave and sexy. I need to put on a sexy dress for this, even though none of you can see me. Like, I need to be like, can we like wait like 5 minutes? I need to do a quick costume change, and then
Yeah. Um, Freeman.
yeah. Well, the question was kind of getting into character by way of using costume.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Because I wasn't sure if I caught it correctly or not, because the internet decided that I was not worthy enough at that moment.
Right.
So I'd say that definitely agree with Lily. Like, I definitely would try to do it a little more in person. It makes sense, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't mean that I haven't tried to incorporate it in video.
Right. I think most notably
I would
Mason's hat.
wear.
a hat.
Yes, exactly. That's the. I know I would wear that a lot more if I had a different headphone setup.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I can't exactly wear the fedora over these. It wouldn't work.
Right.
So, but
Yeah,
I
it
would
doesn't
wear the fedora. That would be perfect. It's perfect.
doesn't quite have the same look as like putting on a beanie and then putting your headphones on over the beanie,
Mhm. Yeah.
which is an aesthetic that I very much enjoy.
True. Yeah.
Yeah. Also thinking about during the heist, your glasses, the glasses that you had. Did you actually put them on at one during that episode? I can't
I
remember.
think I'm trying to remember. I had to have, right?
I think so.
Because they're just so goddamn cool.
I didn't actually think
My
they were
God.
in arm's reach of you, but
Why
you
would
know,
they be?
when it's a night like this, I come prepared. Actually, that's much nicer. I can actually look around this area of the room without being blinded by my lamp
By
over
the-
here, which is illuminating me. I'm gonna wear these for the rest of the episode,
that
guys.
is
If
that
that's
is
okay.
a look, Freeman. I love it.
Thank you. That's why I love these so much. And I tried to look for them online. I've only seen like on Pinterest pictures of this pair,
Mm-hmm.
and nowhere can I find them on sale. I think my dad bought them in Portugal.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
So these are like one of a kind as far as I know.
Geek
God.
outs. Perfect. Clipping that moment. That was excellent.
Excellent.
You mean these?
Good. That's a
Yeah.
good. You mean these?
That has the same energy as like Mason going, "Let me check my notes."
Absolutely.
Same energy. I agree with Gemini about. I'm of the opinion that facial expressions are like costumes in terms of getting into character. I do that a lot when I'm GMing. I do the facial expressions a lot, or at least I try to. Sometimes I get way too caught up in what's happening in the moment, and then this does nothing. But yes, I absolutely agree with that. Caitlin, you've never used facial expressions before, right? I don't think I've
No.
ever seen you use them for anything.
Seems out of character.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
generally, Caitlin, no, never. I didn't think so. Just sort of a generally kind of impassive. And I'm sorry, I can't even say that with a straight face. I can't even finish the sentence. I thought I was gonna make it through, and it just didn't quite happen. Yeah.
Caitlin should really use facial expressions more often. I know it's something that we talk about, in terms of like things that we want to improve on our content.
Yeah,
Just
it's one of the weekly notes in the staff meeting. Caitlin, facial expressions.
yeah. No, I do have the same tendency though, especially even in games that I'm not like playing on video. I find myself, other things that I do is I'll physically pose myself, and I
That's
do
what I was
that
gonna say,
actually,
yeah.
especially. I mean, I do it sometimes in video games, but I find myself doing it more either when I am in person or when I am not like on video. I don't know what the deal is with that sometimes, but like physical posture for me, like, if I'm like, if you're talking like a crime boss or something, like I'll be like slouching in my chair or something like this, like, or whatever,
Oh, well, like I don't know if you've noticed before, John, but like in our like D&D game, like when I was playing Cassius, the assassin, I was very straight and just sort of I did a lot of because he's a Shadar-kai. I did a lot of like weird head motions because he's weird. Shadow elves, they're strange. They're from another plane. They're gonna be weird. Anyway, so like, but then when I'm playing Bashir, I do a lot more of like this leaning forward, like, like what?
Yeah.
Trying to figure out what's going on like all the time because he has an intelligence of.
The
It's a number.
the instant that you made that physical motion, I was like, oh, Bashir.
Yeah, it's just
Wow. Cool.
right. Yeah. So yeah. So like I think for me, I'm glad you said that, Gemini Lightning, because for me it's much more about I rarely am about the costume pieces or accessories. I'm much more about the body language. Probably more so than facial expressions, I think.
Yeah. I almost wish I kind of, if I like for games that I run, I almost want to like get a standing desk because I have so much like standing energy as a DM that like DMing from the chair the whole time has been driving me nuts.
That's the thing that like I remember thinking about for D&DR, but like if I had somebody else operating like cameras and transitions, I would definitely do what Eric Campbell did for C6, and also what Matt Mercer has on Critical Role, which is like a sitting camera and a standing camera.
Yeah.
I really wish that I had that because yeah, that would be super nice. Like I have the cameras to be able to do it. I just cannot also transition at the same time while also running the game. It's
yeah. We have the technology but not the manpower.
Right, exactly. That's the yeah. But yeah, no, like that's such an important thing, I think, especially especially in online games. I feel like it would be really important because you are missing many of the key senses there are many of the senses that you cannot use in a remote format for like immersion and stuff like that. So the best you've got is visual, and you can do whatever you can with that. And yeah.
I really want to play Invisible Sun, but I know that Invisible Sun has a bunch of like tactile elements to it, and so like I'm kind of holding off on playing that sometime. But it's one of those Monty Cook game systems that I'm like very like that is always just kind of on the edge of my awareness. Shauna Germain or like Monty, like the senior staff over at Monty Cook Games will occasionally tweet about their Invisible Sun home game, and I'm just like, I want to play it. It's so weird.
I know, God. They make so many good games over there, and I just do not have the time to play any of them.
It's wild. It's wild, like just the consistency with which they just crank out amazing tabletop RPG content, whether it's like supplements to their existing stuff or like new games. It's just so cool.
Yeah.
CG, we love you.
I was gonna say, Lily, you do like a ton of cosplaying and stuff. So like, what do you have a favorite?
A favorite cosplay that I do? So my thing is, I've been increasingly doing cosplays that are more like obscure and difficult. So I mean, I have cosplays that like, I think I'm most proud of like my D&D OC cosplay because just of how complicated that was and of how good I think it turned out. But like, it's not necessarily like my favorite to wear because, you know, I could go to a convention and no one wouldn't have any idea who I am, which isn't the primary reason that people cosplay, but like
Right.
it's nice to have people recognize you.
Yeah, definitely.
So even though I haven't worn it in 4 years, I guess it might be actually my like worst my most poorly made one, which is my Captain America one. But I look so good in it, even though it's like
Yeah.
a one piece of fabric, like acrylic paint. Like everyone recognizes it, even though it's again no effort. I shouldn't say no effort because I was just starting out, but you know, like clearly like the simplest pattern I could find. And yeah, so I'd probably say that one, but you know, I'm not gonna part of it's like broken and falling apart because it was really cheap.
Right.
So
Mhm.
of a weird what's the word I'm looking for, relationship with cosplay. Because I'll be like, yeah, I don't have I've got favorites in terms of like, you know, reception favorites versus like make favorites. Now that I've gotten slightly better at sewing.
That makes sense, actually. Yeah, that there's like different favorites for different situations, like for different things. Yeah, that's cool.
I see Caitlin mentioning Tasha Yar. That's the one that annoys me.
I know
because I literally bought that one on the internet,
Olivia.
and everyone compliments me on it. Every single I get so many compliments on it, and I'm like, I bought this. This was so cheap.
Olivia is trolling you, just saying, I like that one store-bought one from Star Trek that you put no effort into.
I have no wig, like minimal makeup, like.
That's what you looked like when I first met you. That's what you were.
Was I not wearing this one? Was I wearing the Tasha Yar?
I
was wearing the Tasha Yar one.
Yeah, you were wearing Tasha Yar. Yep.
Yeah.
That was when.
Right, because then when I was wearing this, you were like, "Who are you?"
It took me a second, or no, who was it? It was Henry who like didn't recognize you at all until like that was so funny.
It's understandable.
We were sitting in like at Gen Con, we were sitting in like the Indianapolis Mall in like the food court, and like Henry leans over to me after a while. I was like, I just now realized that was Lily.
I would like to make a confession that was also me because I was like, oh, it's Lily.
I take that as a compliment. Yeah. That's awesome that I can look so different.
Yeah, there were like, and again, because like we had just kind of met in person for the first time that weekend, so like I didn't know your face super well.
Exactly.
And so like when you showed up to play the Weave game, I was just like, I like my eyes just like passed right over you. I was like, "Where's Lily at?" And I was like, "Oh, right, she's right there."
Yeah.
Right. I don't look like me right
now. Nico asks, "What's the most elaborate setup you've ever done for an IRL session?" Ooh. Oh gosh. Okay. I don't know if this technically counts because it has nothing to do with the game, but I still have stress dreams about the D&DR setup. I still have stress dreams about that.
I hear you.
Oh,
me too,
gosh.
a little bit.
Yeah. Alpha Dean, thank you.
Hey.
Thank you, sir. Welcome. Yeah. I don't know if that technically counts, even though it is an IRL session. It was also a streamed game, and the setup had nothing to do with the actual like game. But
could setup mean like a battle map, a very?
Wait, no, I have an answer for this. No, I do have an answer for this. It was one of those instances where I just went extremely extra. Remember the Dracolich battle?
Oh, I know. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
I have pictures of that.
So I'll post them in Discord later, actually, because I don't think I've posted them before. But I had everybody set up in between sessions. I'd set up a fight with a Dracolich, and I had in my head such a clear picture of what that like the cave where they found the Dracolich looked like that I had to build it, and so I did. I took like in the week in between. It wasn't even the week. I like had a vague inclination of it. I was like, I kind of want to do this, and like our games are on Thursday, and it wasn't until Monday that I started it. I started it on Monday. It was when I finally decided. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do this, and then I spent the next couple of days just going ham making this thing. I'll post pictures of it later in the Discord.
It's so cool.
Somebody at me and remind me later, because once we go off, because I will forget.
Will do. Yeah. I think I haven't done anything nearly that elaborate, but I remember I had like several of those Chessex like grids that you can just like draw straight on with a with like a dry erase marker, and I had made one like for each layer of the dungeon that my party was going through, and then like I had like torn up scraps of paper that I had actually like taken a lighter and like burned the edges off of to like hand to them as they found like little notes. That was super fun. I love using props like that. But
Yeah. That's really cool. Sorry, I just want to go and say hi because a bunch of people just jumped in. Rainy Keys, welcome and hello. And because you're here, yes, I'm going to call you out. Because you're here and you were not present on the stream when I said it, congratulations on reaching affiliate, because that is dope. So congrats and welcome. Let's see.
I had an answer for that.
Yeah, go for it.
Sorry, were there more people to say hi to? I wasn't sure if that was you moving on or you saying hi to other people.
No, I was. I'm just gonna note. Alpha Dean is really liking your name, Freeman. Fancy man.
Thank you.
Yeah, Lily, go ahead. Give us what you got.
Yeah. So I believe it was last Halloween. I had run a like Curse of Strahd game for some of my friends like over the summer, and they like it was one of those what is it called? It's the Strahd Must Die Tonight version of Strahd, where it's a shortened version.
Yeah.
And they didn't actually end up killing Strahd, so I had to like cut it off early, and I was like, guys, for Halloween, because I had the house to myself. And I had like, it was the first Halloween like back in my house after being away at college, and I was like, I'm going to go all out on decorating. So if you guys want to come over, I can use those decorations and we can finish up that Strahd game. So I had, I was in this costume because in my game, Strahd is a girl, because why wouldn't I have lady vampires in my game?
Absolutely.
And so I was dressed up as Strahd, and for the game I had like an hourglass with like red sand in it. I had candles. I had gone to Michael's and gotten that like bowl of candy with the hands. And I had like coffin decorations. I had like those little headstone standees, and I had a fog machine. It was going to be so good, but then I forgot that I had unplugged the fog machine to plug in my computer. So when the time came to turn on the fog machine, I was like, and I was like, wait a second, guys, wait. I had to go plug it in, and the moment was ruined. But there was still fog. I still got there to be fog.
Yeah.
But otherwise, like that was I love the theatrics of all of that. It was great.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. And like, what better time of the year to be doing Curse of Strahd? Like,
exactly.
You have all the props just available to you. Everybody is selling them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. I don't know if you guys noticed about me, but I like vampires.
What?
Right?
That
I
sounds
know, weird. So yeah. I was. I think at that point I also had Did I have the vampire teeth at that point? I must have. Yeah. So I was able to put in the vampire teeth too.
Okay.
Ooh, nice.
Oh, that's so cool.
Somebody pun jail Rainy right now. Somebody pun jail.
But
I don't care if it was unintentional.
I don't know what happened, but
said Lady Strahd. I need to do that when I run Curse of Strahd, but I'm waiting to get revamped.
Oh yeah, okay, that's good.
Ooh, yes.
There was a lot of puns happening earlier before the stream, I believe.
Oh God, It was We won't talk about that. Betrayed. We have no better time to start descending into Avernus than when the sky outside looks like yellow due to smoke. That's very true. John, thank you for providing the ambiance for your game that you're going to be running for us.
Yeah, no, I just thought in the interest of actually, I have a better answer to this question. One time I set half the country on fire to set the scene for my D&D game.
Oh no.
I was like, well, I can't like get a fog machine or like change the lighting in the room, so I'll just change the lighting in everybody's room.
Let's do a gender reveal party.
I know.
What the most inane possible thing that could have set it off?
Yeah.
I'm just
I'm very sorry for whatever you were eating, Steve, and that you now have to clean it up off the walls.
Anyway, they also put Wizards of the Coast and Punjab. That's what they're calling the edition. I did not realize that's what they were calling it, but like I didn't realize that was an official thing that they were doing. So, all right, you're forgiven.
Well, Nico, you're gonna have to. We'll have to figure out some kind of like betrayal battle royale for the top spot in our little corner of the internet.
Oh man.
You
Well,
can
That
commit.
look like.
I don't know. Like it's just a contest to see who can like it's just an arms race to commit the most heinous feels crimes.
Oh, okay. I was imagining like an all evil campaign, right? Where like the last episode is just everyone
Ooh,
like
like
turning on each other and like trying to screw each other over.
like Liam
Ooh.
O'Brien's The Screw Job.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that yet. I don't think.
Freeman, you should. It's very good.
It's so good.
All right,
It's like
got it.
it's very slow. It's a slow burn kind of thing because it starts out very much like just setup. Like the first full half of it is just setup, and then it just goes nuts towards the end. And it's
Yeah.
excellent.
Yep.
Do you know why they call me Obi?
I love that character so much. It's probably my favorite Sam Riegel character.
I know. It's so good.
Um,
It's so Sam Riegel.
Dean has an excellent. There's so many good answers to this in the chat, but Dean has a really good one, which was I set up M80s at a cabin one time. We were playing an end of the world scenario, so when the world exploded, I just had these M80s in cans go off. It was epic. That sounds
Oh
amazing.
my god.
That
It's
is
so
cool. Wow.
Oh my
Awesome.
gosh.
Oh.
And then I saw some others earlier. Hold on, let me scroll back up because a lot happened. Caitlin said, I set up a TTRPG weekend at a cabin for my birthday and got like a whole setup. Oh, yeah. Okay, I remember you telling me about this.
Cardboard City, yeah.
Crushed velvet tablecloths, fake candles, cut out a bunch of building facade silhouettes for the battle map. It was very fun. That sounds amazing.
Sometime I do just want to like build a whole city and be like, all right, you're here. You need to be here. Go.
Ooh, and okay, so this was the thing that made me remember something else that Haku said. Props are the best, but that reminds me, did you ever make a prop that was super fun to give to your players? Fun for me to give to them, not fun for them to receive, because it was a letter that was written to one of my player characters because a vampire had abducted his sister and
Nice.
was basically giving him an ultimatum. It was pretty terrible, but actually the letter wasn't the ultimatum. The letter was essentially explaining to him that this was a revenge thing that she did because the adventuring party had busted in and slaughtered her coven. So this was sort of a revenge thing where she basically abducted his sister, turned her into a vampire, and then said, all right, listen, I told you, I gave her explicit instructions that upon being released from this cage that she's in, the very first thing that she's going to need to do is to go and like feed, as a newborn, feed on your family. And so basically he was given he was put in the impossible situation of, and this is what the letter was explaining, the impossible situation of choosing between being directly responsible for his sister's death and ending a vampire, and the other choice of being indirectly responsible for the death of his entire family. Probably the most evil thing to date that I've ever done to a player character in one of my games.
This
I
is why you
remember-
just seduced the vampire. This could have all been completely circumvented had someone just used my strategy.
Which is just to seduce the vampire.
Yes.
Yeah.
All your problems are solved.
Yeah, absolutely. So that was a prop that I did it. I printed it out on like parchment paper when I printed it, and like I typed it up in like handwriting font, and yeah, it was, yeah, that was a fun one for me, not for.
I remember you telling me about that.
Mm-hmm. I
I
still
was,
have it
like-
somewhere. I actually found the letter
Ooh.
somewhere a few days ago, actually.
Oh, hell yeah. That's cool to like rediscover those old props and stuff. I remember like that whole arc you were telling me about, like just each week it got progressively worse, and I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can't think of any props because I don't usually play in person, sadly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah, I've had precious little opportunity to play in person. I had a group that I was playing in person with for a while when I was doing my student teaching, but I think that's the last group
Yeah.
that I played with in person outside of the Gen Con games. It's very hard to do props at Gen Con if you're just doing like side games and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Rainy Q says I haven't done any real setups for D&D campaigns because I don't ever like to get to plan ahead like that. Purely because I'm a chaotic gremlin to the core and I'd spend forever trying to get things right. Fair enough. I'm definitely uh, I'm about a I was gonna say I like pants GM, like a pantser, but like I'd say I'm probably like the ratio is probably more like 20-80 in favor of pantsing. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I feel you.
Make a
Um,
list of highlights and go from there.
yeah, I will say though, Rainy Keys, the like the music thing, I can no longer run games without playing music or some sort of
Yeah.
sound effect or something. I can't do it. It's impossible for me. It just feels too quiet. It feels wrong, and I'm like, this could be more immersive. So every time there's not music or sounds playing, I'm just like, we could do better. And so yeah, I feel
Yeah,
you.
weirdly, I feel like even though I've only GM'd like a couple times and the majority of those times were for kids in a D&D club, but
Ooh
my
yeah.
GMing style is like I will be so specific about like all of the document and I'll be like, in this room there's this sound cue, in this room there's this like song on the playlist, but then I'll like go in and I'll be like, what's the encounter? Oh shit, I forgot to say what the encounter was. I'll just roll on a random encounter table and I'll pull up that stat real fast, that stat block real fast. I hope
Yeah.
this is balanced.
So one of my favorite things that I have ever done at a table, and it's much easier to do this in person because like you don't have to contend with any delay or like difference in audio, like in terms of where people are in the song. But I wrote out a piece of narration for like something that the boss was like the big bad evil guy for the first arc of this in-person campaign that I was running was gonna like this I like set the scene and like described this thing that was happening as they stepped into the room, and I timed myself reading it so that the music that I was playing would like smash into into like the like dramatic moment right as like he did the thing that like the dude like kicked off this terrifying like eldritch ritual that they had interrupted. And so it was so fun watching watching their faces like, and then like doing that just as the music dropped. It was like I will never forget the look on that table of players' faces. It was so fun.
Worth
Yeah.
it.
Absolutely. Um, Remy, hi. Says also, oops, that's not the one. Not exactly the same, but as an artist, I go apeshit with making Roll20 maps with the least amount of it being generated as possible. That's excellent. I also don't just make maps. I make like set pieces, all player tokens, all NPC portraits, etc., etc. And I can't really do that as much in a physical game. That's actually really cool. That that's There are very few times where I hear people like say picking out one specific thing that they like that they can say like about an online game that is superior to an in-person game, but that's certainly like that's definitely one that I didn't even think about, but that's really true. Like there's a lot of stuff that you can do if you are artistically inclined on an online game that you can't I suppose you could do it in an in-person game, but not as easily.
Towards like I'm taking a break from running our home game right now, but like the last several fights that you guys did, I had a lot of fun just drawing out like isometric like maps for
Mm-hmm.
you guys to fight on. And I would take like a few Roll20 assets and slap them on top of there because I had them, but they were it was a lot of fun to be able to just like draw the environment that I had in my head and be like, okay, this is where you are.
Yeah. Um, Also, I saw this. Um, oh, first, Rainy Keith says I'm a theater of the mind DM too, so I like everything I do with word explanations. I talk too much when I'm nervous, so it's a good exercise for my mind. That's fair. That is fair. I kind of do that too, so I feel you. But also I wanted to point out what Dean said, which was the worst. Going back up. This starts earlier. Player harassment is so much fun. I literally had a player believing that the villain was mailing pieces of his wife to him over the course of a year-long game. The worst part of it was that it was finally revealed that he had spent the time seducing her into a real love affair with him, and she betrayed the player by stabbing him in the chest. Oh my god.
Whose body parts was he sending?
Wow. That
like
is
random body parts?
No, if you cut them open,
My
they would
goodness.
Oh my gosh.
No. John, that feels like years ago that was a meme,
Yes,
but like it was
apparently.
only a couple months ago.
Apparently, yes. That is what was happening, according to
God.
Dean.
Huh.
random
Yep.
pieces.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
God.
Whew. That's a big one.
Yeah.
Very correct. There is too much to unpack there.
Yeah. My
Oh,
gosh.
Like then that's on the player though, and it's not. I'm just being facetious about this, but like if you send someone a hand, right, and it, like your wife has like a mole there, right, and if the hand doesn't have a mole on it, you'd be like, oh yes, this is not the, but like
Right. Yeah.
you're probably not thinking
Yeah.
that if you're getting sent like a disembodied limb. It's probably not your
man.
first
Unless-
thought, but still.
Unless you're Dexter Morgan, in which case, yeah, you probably are thinking that.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. God, that is intense. But oh man, I gotta say, I have a special place in my heart for like NPCs betraying PCs. It's just, and it's fun for me not because of the actual betrayal moment, but because it requires the kind of setup to like be very carefully done, and it just, when you do it right, it just feels like, as a GM, it feels like, I don't know, it just you feel so accomplished when you do it, because you're like, I can't believe that I was able to lay those seeds throughout all this stuff and nobody picked up on it until the moment that it was important for them to do it. Yeah, that's excellent.
Yeah.
That's why I very much appreciated when, like, you know what? I won't say that. I was gonna say that was gonna be some Infinite Horizon spoiler stuff, which we're not real. Technically, we're past spoiler ban, but it's not part of this conversation, so we'll just move on.
Yeah, since we're not on the Q&A where we spent a bunch of it being screaming and then the rest of it being blush monstered by chat.
I still haven't recovered.
I'm
I
still
haven't either. I'm
blushing.
still very emotional about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
This thing that happened to me in a game was being crit with a magical sickle, and in 3.5, sickles did 4x crit damage, so my character was bisected.
Whoa. Wow.
I forgot that there were a bunch of weird crit mechanics in 3.5 that
That's
like some
right,
weapons
yeah.
crit harder than others and crit wider than, oh god. That's
Yep.
horrifying.
It doesn't seem fair. It doesn't seem fair.
Oh man, that is. Yeah, that's right. I straight up forgot that there were.
I'm thinking back to when we were a 3.5 game now and remembering the character that I played that was basically just built around critting all the time, and I'm like, okay, yeah, no, I do remember this now.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Freeman. Dean says the villain
What's
was
up?
based on Dexter. The player was like Sherlock Holmes. It was a Jack the Ripper tale.
Got it. Yeah, that kind of, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Um,
That's cool.
Nico says, in my current Cypher campaign, which John and Geekouts are players in, I have already set up and reinforced a thing with a PC. I don't know if anyone has picked up on it yet, but I can't wait to get to the point of resolution. Mm-hmm.
That's ominous.
That's ominous, and I love it, because it's got nothing to do with me, so I love this.
Damn it, Nico. Now I'm sitting here racking my brains with over every NPC interaction we've had in that game, which is actually precious few because it takes us 2 weeks to get through a single scene. But
Yes, Dean. Dean says, remember crit ranges of 15 to 20? Yes, I do remember that. And as a GM...
Ow.
Fair enough.
That said, here's the thing I will say, and because this is not particularly pertinent, I don't think, but I will say a thing that I do kind of miss about Pathfinder was more the game that I ran that was similar, but the thing that I do miss about that is I kind of miss having all all of the different stuff that you could play with when it came to like homebrewing magical items. In 5e, it sort of feels pretty limited as to like what you can actually have it do. So I will say that, like, you could have a magic item that increases the crit range, or you can have a magic item that gives, I don't know. There's just a lot of cool stuff that I kind of miss. And templates. I miss templates. Like creature templates and magic. Anyway, we're not going to get into that. Anyway.
I don't trust you, Nico. I know what lies behind that smile, and it is betrayal.
But okay, hear me out. Hear me out. Because an NPC that you trusted betrays the group, right? That's great. That's fun. The NPC then comes back. And there's a redemption, maybe not even a redemption arc, but like something happens where either like turns out they were mind controlled, or like turns out like they thought something was true that's not, or like maybe they have a change of heart or something. And then like there's that process of like the added angst of that is just beautiful.
See, you're onto something here, because there's so many softies in this game that'd be like, no, we have to figure out why they did this to us.
Oh gosh, that just makes me think of in Callisto 6, Lacey's, if it tries to kill us, we get to keep it, right? Like,
Yes.
Oh my god.
Also, Heart of Handprints saying Wednesday was fun in response to us talking about being blush monstered into oblivion. If there was a most wanted list for Feels crimes,
You're at the top.
yeah. Anyway, and Gemini Lightning, you're on that list too. Anyway,
Yeah, too many nice people.
yeah, I know, not okay.
Like don't stop it, but like you're too nice.
You all are the most wholesome motherfuckers.
Yeah,
all of you.
Okay, a note about Wednesday is we got off stream and just like cried for like the stream ended. We just got off stream and just like cried, just melted into our chairs. You know, that whole thing.
I was a puddle on the floor for a minute or so.
Yeah. Geekouts has a question. How do you feel about PC versus PC in different systems? See, I don't have a problem with it, and my reason for not having a problem with it is the fact that generally the people I tend to play with are people that I trust to like basically handle that situation in a way that is fun for everybody. So for me, I don't have a problem with it, but in a situation where I was playing with people I didn't particularly know, I might, if I was playing with like a whole group of people that I didn't know, I might at the very least address it, if not full on restrict it. I don't know. It's like if I was playing a con game, if I was running a con game, I would probably restrict that. But yeah,
it's because that's a setting where it's harder to decide or realize in the moment the most important thing about that situation, which is whether or not everyone is in on it, because everyone has to be in on it, or else it's not fun.
Yeah, and I think that inter-party conflict is something that's like so interesting, and sometimes that results in like resolving some parts of it mechanically. So like, actually, that same thing that I was talking about with the letter, Freeman, do you remember this? The very first time that you encountered her.
Oh, I think, yeah.
Like, your character was like, there was this whole thing of like letting her go versus not letting her go, and your character was all about like, I'm gonna fucking kill her. And I think it was Henry's character who like did a hold person on you to stop you.
Yep.
And like,
that was so good.
Henry afterwards was like, oh, okay, maybe that was wrong. I kind of feel bad about that. And you were just like, no, absolutely not. That was excellent.
Like, the barbarian's going to do what the barbarian does. And that was exactly what probably needed to happen.
Yeah.
And it was absolutely it was great. It was epic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I'm harkening back to like our first home D&D game, Lucas, where our characters just like hated each other's guts for like the first month that we were playing, and it came to a moment where like we actually like physically had a fight, and then both characters like because of that learned something about each other out of it.
Yeah.
And then wound up being very good friends. They just had to punch it out first.
Yeah.
Well, that happens.
So, I don't know. As far as player versus player in TTRPGs, I'm generally fine with it, but with the giant asterisk that is like generally because I play with people that I trust to like do it in a way that isn't gonna feel bad to anybody. So, yeah.
When I ran games for kids, I had to outlaw it outright because the session would just descend. Like middle schoolers, if they're like, I attack him with my sword, I'm like, that's not fun. Like it's not like you think it's fun because you're in middle school, but I promise you it's not fun.
Yeah, it's like in middle school you have to do something to know it's gonna feel bad.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the only way that you learn it, that's gonna happen.
Some people stay like that, but like we don't generally play with those people.
That's true. Yeah. We end up, if we invite them at all, we end up kicking them out of the group. But yeah, no, that makes sense. Like, so I'd say I'm fine with it, but context is kind of mine. But I have not been paying attention to chat. Nico says, I reminded him of something that went through his head earlier. Okay. Imagine a cleric version of John Constantine that keeps playing the gods against each other. Oh.
Nice.
Ooh.
I love that. Oh god, that makes me think of that all cleric level 20 one shot that you want to run, John.
Oh my god, the Amen.
The Amen, yeah.
Wait.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Can I watch that?
Listen, maybe sometime, but like all clerics, all level 20, all different gods, like
apocalyptic scenario.
Yeah, do like a short shot where the gods are like, shit, it's all coming apart. We gotta do something, guys.
Love clerics.
Yeah.
They're so good.
I deserve that, Nico.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
We'll see.
Was that Evan that came up with that name?
I think it was.
I think it was came up with that name. Yeah.
Yep. I do have some ideas about what that looks like. I think it'd be very fun.
Yeah, Olivia, I agree. A good player conflict is very juicy. I am looking forward to. I mean, not looking forward to in that it's gonna happen, but like, there probably will be a situation in Infinite Horizon at some point where there's like a player intra-party conflict, and we've had a little bit of that, but not that that escalated into like a full-on conflict. It was just sort of more like suspicion than anything else, and I kind of hope it happens, so because I think that's interesting stuff. Leah says, I'm gonna kill a party member at random. Cool.
Oh, gosh.
Excellent.
Hey, can you just check the
Mason
inside
better
of...
watch his back.
Hey, can you just check like the inside of the airlock?
I don't sleep.
I just thought I heard there's something weird in there in the airlock. Like, yeah, in there. Yeah, this hissing sound. I don't know. Maybe some air's escaping.
Among Us Infinite Horizon Edition.
Infinite Horizon
Too
Battle
soon?
Royale. Oh my god.
Ooh.
That's terrifying.
Yikes.
That's a terrifying thought.
You have to do it before Bina achieves her final form. Who walks out? Do we include all of the guest characters in that too? Like,
I feel
Desiree's out. Immediately has no powers.
Just...
I'm the
but
one that
also
doesn't have superpowers.
consider Lily. Desiree is also the only warrior in the whole the whole group of them. So
That's
true.
fair. But there are adepts who could do like intellect damage, and if she takes
That's
intellect
true.
damage, she is gone.
That's true.
Yeah, Gemini's got a good point. Taeyeon's just like, I'm gonna let all of you just sort this out. I'm gonna be like 2 hours ago watching reruns of Nurse What, okay?
Yeah, just peace.
Yes.
No, I'll be 3 hours in the future watching reruns of Nurse What, just like whoever wins, come get me.
Oh gosh. Yeah. I'd like to be a guest here on your show, Infinite Horizon. I know you, Dean, you have some supplements that you can really bring into this and do some cool shit with. So we'll have to talk about this. I know we've like mentioned it before, but it's definitely something we're gonna have to talk about because I'm curious to see you bring your full nerd powers to bear on a character. What's the first level of problems? Yeah. Desiree could one-hit Bina. Yeah, that's very true.
Really?
Yeah, Bina
Like-
has nothing in might. Like, nothing at all.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I feel like the max. If I get the drop on her, I get another 2 damage. That'd be 7 damage with a sword. Plus, if I get a 20, it's an extra 3 damage. Is that correct?
Level of effort
Something
in
like
there. You
that.
can spend effort to do more damage
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. So, but like that's so potentially 10 damage, but that's if a lot of things line up properly. At least at tier 1.
Bina
if
has
it's
10 might points. So-
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Desiree has 10 intellect points.
Yeah.
I think I'm playing the character that I play in the Saturday game that Nico mentioned earlier. I think has 9 might,
Mhm. Yep.
which is because of the way that Cypher system works, I view as less an indication that she's like super physically weak and more an indication that like she just has terrible con.
It's just like that character. It's just like me on like when it gets hot out, and I just turn into a puddle, and it's like I don't want to do anything.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's
Yeah.
yeah.
Also, hi Chaos Creep.
Chaos Creep, hello. We're doing well. We are having Ramblefancy. We're kind of just talking about whatever right now. We don't have a topic. We're just sort of wherever the conversation goes is where it goes. So,
But we're fancy.
But we're fancy. That's as good as there being a topic. That's like the
Exactly.
same thing. We are the topic.
You guys don't come here to like listen to us talk. You come here to like look at us, right?
Yeah,
That's what we're here
exactly.
for?
Yeah. That's
Oh, I'm gonna stretch.
freeing with the
Would you-
biceps.
Would you say that we're a pretty hot topic?
Leave.
No, I would not.
Get out.
Oh.
Oh,
Geekouts, you do not want to see me flex my Tootsie Roll biceps. Like,
Oh.
that is an image for sure.
That is.
That is absolutely an image.
Oh,
it
what?
just that one came into my head as I was saying it. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, those are usually the best.
Yeah.
Jade
Jeez.
wins because no one would hurt him.
Remy says, I have a question. Do you guys have any favorite stream games either from the past or to keep up with? Oh, interesting.
Fave content that we watch.
Yeah. My that I watch is pretty limited. Because there's so much stuff out there and I get overwhelmed. Hell, I get overwhelmed with just the few that I do watch. I just today caught up to Clear Skies, and that's only just caught up in terms of like the episodes that are currently on YouTube. I think I'm just one behind right now, which is this past week. So, pretty much for me, it's just Clear Skies, and I keep up with Critical Role, but it's kind of more habit right now than anything else. It's like, I just really miss Campaign 1, okay? But from the past, yeah, Caitlin, I agree. Shielded Tomorrow, all-time fave. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Not sponsored, but I do believe next week is the premiere of Pirates of Leviathan for D20,
Yeah.
which
Oh,
has
yeah.
a bunch of cool cast members.
Mm-hmm.
Like if and also pirates.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know if you know, but I enjoy pirates.
No, I don't think I knew that.
Yeah.
Speaking of D20, I think like at least recently they're probably my favorite like streaming like production place to watch, or at least like Fantasy High Season 1 is most of what I've seen of their content right now, and it's so good. I will rave I will rave about how much fun Fantasy High Season 1 is. It's very good.
So fun.
Yeah.
John Hughes meets D&D is such a cool intersection of things.
And I think they're putting up Unsleeping City on YouTube too. Don't quote me on that, but I thought I saw that on Twitter today. If you're like interested in more not realistic, but like D&D like in real life.
Yeah, like modern fantasy D&D.
Remy says Lily's pirate agenda is strong.
Yeah. I'm predictable.
Oh, geek outs. Why must you harm my heart like this? Just put the alpha emote into chat. Why must you hurt me like this, geek outs? Rip alpha.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Let me just do my best Matt Key impression. Rip alpha. All right, we're good. Doth that feel mine blade twisting in your heart? I do, in fact.
Ooh, I am aware of the current TikTok trend, and I'm a fan.
Wait,
What is it?
It's it's bisexual pirates.
Ah.
It's excellent. It's and of course mine's For You page is just all ladies already, so like just ladies that are pirates also. It's excellent.
Mm-hmm.
I need to get a pirate hat. I can't find one that I like really like yet. So if anyone has recommendations,
like a tricorn.
Yeah, with like
man.
a crazy feather.
Mm-hmm.
So if anyone has recommendations, hit me up. I'm still looking for one.
listen, I'm gonna need you to flood my DMs with that TikTok like trend.
We'll do.
Amethyst. Good. Okay. Excellent.
Yeah.
I missed this because I don't have TikTok.
Yeah.
But like,
Yeah, same.
Amethyst Cat Lady.
I feel like I do
Daisy
because
sends
she-
me the TikTok
yeah.
highlight reel.
I feel like I do because Crystal's constantly sending me TikToks, so I feel like I have.
Yeah, I don't have to have TikTok because I have friends who curate my TikTok experience. For
Yeah,
me.
exactly. Dean asked a good question, which is, are you guys excited for the Diamond Throne for Cypher? I know I am. I will admit I know almost nothing about it. I have heard about it, and I keep hearing about it, but I know almost nothing. So,
Same boat.
What's the scoop on Diamond Throne?
yeah, tell us, Dean, please.
Is it like medieval stuff, or is it like?
I think it is like fantasy of some kind. If I'm thinking of the same thing, but oh my God, Dean just
excellent,
linked.
a link. Thank you.
Oh. Wait.
Okay, now I gotta look.
What?
I gotta look at this now.
Who is this person, and how do they know me so well? I don't think I've ever met you, and yet somehow.
Oh my God,
you know me.
That is the one.
Yeah.
Wow.
Am I just that I probably am that transparent. Yeah, no, yeah. Thank you.
Oh my gosh.
Woo!
Yeah.
Add that to cart.
I think
Add to cart.
To cart.
Yes.
I think the
Middle of the
it's just an insta buy. I am the Alpha Dean and I know all. That's an amazing answer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's a better way to
There
respond
really
to
isn't. That's
Mm-mm.
yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? I've heard a little bit about Diamond Throne. I think Eric Campbell was talking about it on his stream the other day, but I only caught the very end of it. So everything I know is just from like seeing people talk about it and just okay, cool. I'm down, Dean.
Cool.
Yeah. We can talk about it now because we're talking about it already. But like next week on Ramblemancy, Alpha Dean is coming to hang out with us and talk about apparently Diamond Throne. So yeah, we're gonna be talking about all kinds of stuff, gaming related probably.
I super want to spend some time at some point talking about We Are All Mad Here because I love it.
We need to have a like a counter for how many times John pulls up the book on stream.
I keep it within reach of my desk specifically so I have to rave to people
I feel like
about
this week alone, like you've pulled it up several times while on stream. So
yes.
I think this is one of those things. It's like John has two counters. One is explosions, and the other one is the We're All Mad Here book.
Yeah, for real. And even when it's not like physically in my hands on screen, several times it's been sitting on my dresser where I currently have like a whole bunch of comic books and Elemental Spark.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Olivia's apparently jealous of you having the copy.
Yeah, I the instant that pre-orders went live, I was like, "Yep, here we go." Click. I insta bought or insta pre-ordered it because I'd seen Shauna Germain tweeting about a project that she was working on that was fairy tale related for a very long time, and I've had like this weird cyberpunk fairy tale setting in my head for like half a year, and I was like, "Oh, okay, this is the book I need."
Yeah. What an interesting combination. See, I'm always a big fan of like weird combinations, like in food, in media, in like genres, just everything. I like weird combinations. Like especially the weirder there are, the more likely that they would never work but somehow do, the better. Like I love that kind of stuff.
Cybertale or fairy punk. I think it's hard to say, really. The thing that I have been like the thing that I have code named it on this little note card that I have taped to my monitor is Ghibli Punk is actually is the thing that I have on it.
Nice.
So I just like, because my inspiration for it is effectively like Kiki's Delivery Service and then all of the cyberpunk setting of Callisto 6 and then just smash them together.
Interesting.
And some other there's a whole bunch of other things floating around in there.
I'm sorry.
So
I'm sorry,
I love that
John,
movie.
but I've just been fully shook by what Geek Out's just posted in the chat.
I saw your face go on like a whole journey.
I was like trying to imagine it, and I'm not sure I can. The peanut butter ranch toasted sandwich.
The kombucha girl, like the.
Are you? So hold on. So
okay.
so Geek Outs, is this something that you're saying that you have done and that I should try, or are you just randomly putting shit together to see if I will like find some to test the limits of my liking weird combos? Like that's what I'm the most curious about here.
We already know mine. From my trails job in what was it?
You
Oh,
and your
wait.
tinned meats.
Tinned meats. It was a tinned meat and trail mix peanut butter jam wrap.
oh my god, that's
It was
wild.
It was the only thing left, and it was a long journey back.
Chandra, hi. Chandra has rated us. Hello everybody, welcome. We are having Ramblefancy tonight, which is essentially just an excuse for us to get dressed up, and we didn't really get much beyond that as far as topics. So we're just kind of here hanging out talking about whatever.
Oh, we're still talking.
We are, yeah. So,
Anyway, so toasted peanut butter and ranch sandwich, like
Yeah.
that I am initially repulsed, but also like the foodie in me is like, well, how bad would it actually be though?
I don't know.
I mean, it's like the epitome of I have nothing in the house tonight and no one is home to witness my sin.
I suppose it would depend on what kind of ranch and what kind of peanut butter too.
Yeah, we're talking crunchy or smooth.
Yeah, I think
these
it would
are
have to
the
be
important
crunchy,
questions that
personally.
we tackle here. On you,
See,
Chandra,
I don't
you got
know
here at the best possible time.
I don't know if it has to be crunchy because you've got you've got toasted bread, which gives you the crunch
Oh, it's
factor.
toasted. True.
That's true.
Yeah.
But then
True.
the other question is the bread like toasted by itself and then you put like the ranch and peanut butter on, or do you put the ranch and peanut butter on first and then toast
feel
that,
like-
or do you only toast the peanut butter? Because I feel like
feel like
ranch
that
toasted
one's-
would be weird.
That one's a
Well,
recipe for like just ending up with ranch all over the pan. So like
Yeah.
I think this is a case where like you make the toast and then like you spread the peanut butter over it and then like some chunky peanut butter over. I think we settle on chunky. You spread some chunky peanut butter over it and then just like drizzle the ranch over it and call it a deconstructed open faced like peanut butter and ranch sandwich.
Deconstructed open face.
oh no. I hate it. Not the actual sandwich, just your description of it. I hate it. Also, I want to point out
soon.
because
have to
she's
try
here
this.
right now in chat at Meaning of Night. Hello and welcome. She did our channel our sub badges. So all of the beautiful scrolls, books, and fiery explosions next to your names. It's all because of Meaning of Night. So thank you. They are, you did do that. They're excellent, and I love them.
Seems only right that since you made them, you have one.
Oh, John, thanks.
Anytime.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm still fully shook by this whole idea of the sandwich, and I'm trying to wrap my mind around it.
I think I actually could go a little further. I really think if you got a really good croissant
Okay.
and
Okay.
you got
All right.
two piping bags for like, and filled one with peanut butter and one with the ranch, and you did a little piping action on either side. Come on. Hey.
Oh, geek outs, you're right. You just get like a little bit of like sharp smoked cheddar or something. You sprinkle that
Yeah.
over the top, and then you stick it on the broiler for a minute, and like that just
You're
finishes
right.
up crisping up the toast, and then gets to like
You're
see
right.
it. Yeah.
Oh my God. Caitlin did the deep dive to find the tinned meats clip.
Oh my God.
Which I think to date
thing is great.
might be the only clip that Caitlin has made
Oh.
of Rule of Lore stream, but it's like it honestly, Caitlin could easily just retire her clipping career on just that clip alone.
Geek outs, the fastest clipping finger in the West, agrees. It's a 12 out of 10 best clip. It's the only one I've ever needed to make.
Yeah, that's very true. It's an excellent clip. It's a good
tinned
clip,
meat.
Brent. Anyway,
I was searching for that reference. I couldn't remember what the name was.
yeah. Tinned meat. I think I might have made that one. Had something to do with tentacles. I don't know which one you're talking about. But yeah. Vertiman says, I'm not sure, guys, about this flavor combination. You're right.
Sub goal.
You're right.
We try it.
No. You're right. Yeah.
What a great sub
Oh
goal.
my God.
We've
the
struck
worst,
gold.
best idea we've ever had on the stream.
Yeah, and like I'm always down to try weird
No,
food
I'm writing it
things
down.
for
I'm putting it in
entertainment.
staff room to
Oh
discuss.
no.
Oh no. No, but I think Vertiman's concern is valid. We need to round out these flavors a bit more. We need to throw something else in there.
Yeah, honestly,
Ooh,
like
sriracha.
so we've
Sriracha,
got
yeah.
sriracha, yeah, the catch-all. I mean,
Seems
we've
a
got
bit basic, Freeman.
Oh, ouch.
food crowds.
Oh God.
So like we have to think about the flavors that we've got at play here, right? So we have the kind
sorry, side note, I love that this is the direction that this
I'm pretty sure Olivia posted a question, but we can absolutely.
We'll get back to that.
This is important.
we have to hash this out first.
All right.
Oh, okay. Iconic character outfits. I'll remember that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so like what flavors do we have represented here? We have like the like creamy fatty deliciousness from peanut butter, right? And then we have like kind of the bitter like toasted element from the toast. And then you have like the sort of like savory tang of ranch, right? You have sour. So like what do we have?
You need sweet.
That's what I was gonna
Yes.
say. Yes,
Mhm.
you need something kind of in there to like just sort of something to mellow it out a little bit.
Hoisin sauce.
I'm wondering if there's
You know
like
what?
maybe.
What you said.
Gemini, absolutely not. No, whipped cream.
What?
Uh,
I like how that's where we're drawing the line. Is that whipped cream?
I don't know. There's a lot. You got a good point. Yeah. Why draw the line
sorry.
anywhere?
Did you see what Olivia just said? I googled peanut butter ranch sandwich and found a Christian blogger who made it for her son.
Oh no.
That's so.
Oh my
random.
God, a
Let's
link.
do this.
That's so random.
Oh my God.
Oh,
But-
no.
Like also weirdly not surprising. I don't know why.
Oh, she put.
Oh, it's the oh my God, it's such a classic food blog too. It's got like her life story and pictures of her adorable child, and I don't think it even has the recipe. I mean,
It doesn't have the recipe, and it closes out with a Bible quote.
Yeah,
Perfect. Oh my God, this is just like
check.
yeah.
check.
This right here is just food blog bingo. Like that's where we're
Mhm.
we're just food blog bingo now.
Yeah, if anybody's got
Gosh.
their bingo cards, go ahead and turn them in at the end of the episode.
Oh man.
As far as this food thing goes, peanut butter, garlic bread, Gouda, smoked salmon, peach, preserves, drizzled ranch, whole. Yes.
Okay.
I don't know.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know why we didn't just immediately ask Dean, because
I'm salivating right now thinking about that. That's so good. Peach and salmon is such a cool combination
Mhm.
too. I really like that. Like a lot of times I feel like I see people do orange and then
No,
like
no,
soy sauce and stuff.
I didn't skip. I mean, I did skip over it, but I just addressed the most shocking part of it first. I am the Alpha Dean. Truly, truly.
I'm I'm screenshotting that for the next time I'm drunk and hungry.
Heck yeah.
Dean, if I ever try it, I will message you over on like the CU Discord and be like, Dean, I did it.
I did the thing.
You'll know what it is.
Or Gemini suggests a classic, which is just dropping a bunch of bulgogi on top of it. So,
Mhm.
that
Yeah.
could work. That could work too. Although at that point, I think I might just eat the bulgogi and ignore the other part. So, I don't know.
Cypher Unlimited, the content creation machine that Alpha Dean is part of.
Yeah, yeah. Y'all, okay, so if you haven't already, you should follow Cypher Unlimited because especially if you're fans of Infinite Horizon, you should definitely go follow them because they are always talking about Cypher and Monty Cook Games stuff, and honestly are also always matching people up for like community games and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
like if you're interested in playing some Cypher, there's always stuff going on over on the Cypher Unlimited Discord.
They've got a huge, super friendly Discord.
Yeah, it's huge. It's the most official, unofficial Discord of Montego Games. It's
yeah,
excellent.
for real.
Yeah. Dean, actually, if you want to, if you've got them handy, you can feel free to post links in the chat for folks who are interested. 3,500 members and growing. Oh my God.
That's so many.
I feel like the last time that I saw an actual number, you had just hit like 3,000 and like yeah. We've had the Cypher Unlimited guys over here on Ramblemancy several times, or actually we had them here once. They've had us on a couple times on their show to talk about our shows. They kind of gave us our first leg up in the streaming world. So in the content creation stuff, so definitely worth a follow. And of course, as I mentioned, next week Dean will be right here talking about all kinds of gaming stuff. So
Yeah. Also, good night, meaning of night. Good night, Olivia.
good night. Thanks for hanging out.
It's good to see you.
Yeah. They also have a YouTube channel where they talk about like they interview various people in the community, and when they're not talking to people, they're just hanging out, chatting it up about games and stuff like that. So, and gaming. There's some really good videos in there, especially some of the ones that they interview actually some of the staff at Monty Cook Games. It's really cool to get that insider perspective. So,
Yeah.
Given the title, the Asland of Gaming, excellent. I see it. I could see it. Gosh, okay. Olivia had a question. We were gonna get back to that.
Yes, it was something about iconic character outfits.
I read it and then promptly forgot it because of.
Hold on.
just-
I'm gonna do this the smart way.
Okay.
and-
Do you have any iconic character outfits you still
we
think
go.
about?
Like in any, let's see, like media of any kind, games specifically, or how broad?
Yeah. Good question.
Because I could go any. I
Like
could explore
our own or like anybody else's or like what were you thinking? Because I can think of a few.
This is CR specific, but like Yasha's dress that had the slits up in the side. I don't know if you
Oh
guys
my
saw that. That was a live
Mhm.
show.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The M9's party outfits were, especially like with all the tattoos that the different characters had gotten, like
Yeah.
these were so good.
I'm thinking about like cosplayers that like cosplayed that one Yasha outfit. I'm just like, oh my god.
Yes.
Mhm.
She says, I was thinking characters you played, but it could be anything. Okay.
Well, Mason's fedora.
Yeah, that's
for sure. That's
yeah.
a big one.
There's the obvious like cosplay that I did for my D&D character for D&D in a Castle, but like more I think more iconic, specifically for a home game that I'm in, is I had our characters, of course, went to a wedding, so of course the ladies in the party made like Pinterest boards for our outfits, as you do.
Right.
And I had this. I'll see if I can find it. It might have been deleted, but there was this. My character's like god had died, and she was an Oath of Devotion paladin, and so she became an Oath of Vengeance paladin. So she was like in all like black and red, like Hot Topic stuff. And I found this dress that was like pretty skimpy. And she had been pretty like chased up until that point. It was like a really strappy red dress, and everyone like still talks about it now that we've moved on to our second campaign, away from our first campaign. They're like, oh, why am a grade if they're in like a sexy red dress? And I'm like, okay, cool. This is my legacy.
Excellent. Oh my god, yeah, cop plow shorts. Yep, absolutely iconic.
Yep.
He still makes me suffer, Olivia. That's not past tense. Loves to make me suffer in present tense.
Oh gosh, I'm trying to think of. See, I haven't played that many characters, so that's the rough one for me.
I think I've got an answer actually for mine. And it was, of course, it was a party outfit. We've had this discussion I think a couple of times tonight, but like it was the Cypher character that I'm. Yeah. I was playing it was my Cypher character that I play in Geek Outs' game. And she's like a gearhead who like big fancy rich people cyberpunk parties are very much like not her place. So like she borrowed like I think a one shoulder like strap red dress from somebody, but then she was like, this is too much, not me. So she wore cargo pants underneath it. And then had her biker jacket just sort of like off her shoulders most of the night, and that was the outfit. And that's like one of my favorite outfits that I have ever come up with for any of my characters. So it's just like, this is very Anne.
That is a look.
Man, yeah.
Well,
go ahead,
man. Oh, I was just gonna say I could probably think of a few for tabletop role playing, but I want to go back even further to when I was like 6 or 7 years old, and I was watching Universal Monsters. I loved all of those, and I think I probably played every main character from those. And my favorite one I think was the Phantom of the Opera, and all I had at the time was one of these like folders and some scissors, and I made a mask, and I got dressed up in like this like black cape that I had from a different costume. I think it was a Dracula costume I did the year before, and I was the Phantom of the Opera. That's just like something I remembered a while
That's
back.
awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, just like a 7-year-old Freeman running around being a tortured whatever the Phantom is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good night, Heart of Handprints. Thanks for hanging out. Hopefully see you tomorrow. Oh gosh, I think of anything Gina DeVivo has ever worn. You know what? That's completely fair, actually.
Yeah.
Like totally seriously, that's absolutely fair.
Yep.
Gina DeVivo manages to make just about anything look good. So.
Yeah. Oh gosh, I do remember one that I would say is not particularly. It was one that I was able to fully like connect to, and that was because it was something that like was tangible to me that I could see it in my head. But I played a multi-classed Way of the Drunken Master monk, multi-classed with an illusion wizard. Like I said, weird combinations. Love them.
Yeah, interesting.
But his whole thing was pretty much just sort of like he had like the hand wraps and whatever, like the arm wraps and like leg like foot wraps. He like was always barefoot and had like foot wraps. Had like loose sort of like very movable trousers, and then just had this big like baggy overshirt that like it was like one like, kind of the lace up kind, but like the laces were missing. And so it was just sort of like he looked like a drunken beggar, and that was like his whole thing. But he was also a high elf, which was excellent because like the juxtaposition of those things, like you think of high elves as being this very like right, but this dude was just like fucking disaster. Like he was, and he looked it, and so yeah, that I think that's probably the closest thing that I have to that kind of like iconic outfit to a character. So
yeah. I forgot to mention like the color theme that I was going for with the outfit that I mentioned was essentially like taking like then her makeup and going, because it was a rave, going for like an RGB essentially like look between that and the clothes. So
Nice.
Nico says, I have an NPC that is running a secret network of spies and assassins in my world. She's a drow wearing a beautiful, slick black dress, carries a paper parasol that has runes scribbled in ink all over it. She's an illusion wizard and uses the parasol as her casting focus, having the ink shift and change or even come off the parasol as part of her spell casting. Oh, that's so cool.
Is she available for marriage? is my question.
excellent.
Lily always asking the most important question.
Always asking the important questions about the NPCs.
Yeah.
Everyone else is like, you know, like what's their deal? What's their like main ability in combat? I'm like, are they hot? And I'm like 50% joking.
But seriously though.
But seriously, like, all right.
Oh, Gemini, I would love that. I would love that. Yeah, absolutely. And we still have to get a game together at some point. Because we were gonna do that, and we're like, oh, it's fine. It can wait until the new year. Anyway. Yeah. Okay, so here we are. It is the end of the stream. It is in fact past the end of the stream.
I love that.
Yeah.
As is
That
tradition.
we always
As
go
is
wait,
tradition.
that we go over. Yeah, as is tradition.
It was foretold. So we're gonna go. But do remember that tomorrow there will be an Astroneer game being played right here on this very channel by me and Caitlin. And we don't know what that's gonna look like, but it's probably going to be chaotic. That's all I can say about that. It's gonna be a lot of us running around, looking at stuff, taking that stuff and putting it in holes that we dug in the ground because it's the best. It's just the best way to keep them. So, we'll be doing that. Stuff holes, exactly. That's what they are.
I do see that Rainy Keys is streaming.
Oh, really?
Interesting.
Interesting. Rainy Keys is on Guild Wars 2.
Oh yeah, she's doing a Guild Wars 2 character creation stream.
Ooh, I sort of think we have to now.
Yeah, we super do.
We definitely have to.
There's too many of us in this room that spend hours on character creation. Now I can live vicariously through somebody else.
Yeah, it's less stressful when I'm not the one doing the character creation. All right, so we're gonna go. We will hopefully see you tomorrow, but if not, actually, before I do that, I'm gonna start the raid first, because otherwise we'll just be sitting here in silence while I type things, and it's. All right, so yes, hopefully we'll see you here tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific for Astroneer. We'll be going for a little bit. Not sure exactly how long, probably in the vicinity of like 3 hours or so. But yeah, so we'll see you tomorrow. But if not, we'll see you the next time you decide to come roll with us. Lily, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's always excellent to have you with us. So, all right, everybody, let's go raid Rainy. Good night and good zone, everybody.
Zone.